Good afternoon, YouTube viewers and subscribers. Today, this engine arrived at my doorstep. What I have here is a FS-91 Surpass, FS-91 Surpass. This is an engine I just bought for myself. I don't have a Surpass, a 91 Surpass in my engine lineup, and I've really never been a huge fan of them, to be honest with you. But when I saw this one listed for $50, I figured, what the hell, I'll go $50 for this engine. So my initial inspection, and this is exactly how it came. My initial inspection of this engine is that externally it's in pretty fair shape, and if I were to judge only by looking at this exhaust, which I know is not the right thing to do, but if I were, I would say that this is a low runtime engine. But that's not to say that somebody didn't just take this exhaust off and run this engine with a different type of exhaust system, because that's not uncommon. So I'm looking this engine over, and externally it looks pretty good. We've got some kind of a black staining here, which I'm probably pretty certain is not going to come off. We're missing one of the locking nuts. I'm pretty sure this came with a dual locking nut set, and this one's on here the wrong way. So this is not the stock prop washer either, and it has this bearing on here, which looks to be a brand new bearing, and it's looks like a 6001. Let me get my magnifier on real quick. 6001. I don't know if that's actually the size of one of the bearings in this engine, or if this is just what the fellow used as a spacer. But as I look at this prop washer, this does not look like the stock prop washer for an OS Surpass engine either, because I do not recall the thrust washer ever being larger diameter than the end of the crank case here. This to me looks like more like one from a FS-90 engine, or one of the older model engines. Now, the mounting lug holes don't look too bad. The fasteners don't look too bad, and the carb is a little tight, but overall it's in pretty decent shape. So what we need to do now is begin the teardown of this engine and start taking a look inside and see what kind of surprises we might find. It has very low compression. I would say no compression, actually. So let's see if we've got rocker arm movement here. Okay, so both of our rocker arms are moving, so our push rods are moving, so therefore we don't have any stuck tappets. So the only thing I can think that this would be a reason for low compression now is maybe the ring is compressed. So what I'm basically what I'm kind of guessing right now is that this is a low runtime engine that was run a few times and then just put away. That's my guess, my initial guess on this. Put away, the ring got stuck, compressed in the groove, and that's why we have a loss of compression. So this was a $50 engine sold as little to no compression. Valves seem to open and closed fine. Now let's see if we're going to have any issues here. No issues with that one. No issues there. This is always the kind of the scary part of digging into a new engine or a used engine is, are you going to have issues with any of the fasteners? So far, none. I'm just going to loosen these up, and I'll take the intake manifold off. I'll leave this one in there since I've already gone through the steps of loosening these. But yet I do need to take the carb off. So here's going to be the real question: is there an exhaust or is there an intake manifold gasket, and will it survive? Many OS Surpass engines did not have a gasket. Let's see here, these cross-point screws, they don't look like they're in too bad a shape. Well, they didn't have any, give me any grief coming out, so we're going to call that a win. Okay. Now, intake manifold is coming off, and it looks like there is a gasket, and it stayed on the manifold, so that's fine. I'm going to let it be happy there and leave it. Let's finish taking this head off now and see what kind of shape this thing's really in. Okay, it's got a little bit more runtime on it than I was hoping. So there you see it, top the piston. It'll come clean. So I would say this engine probably has maybe a gallon through it. Now, as I always like to do, let's do a reveal on the head. Okay, there we go. So this does have some runtime on it. I'm still sticking with my about a gallon. So this will be a teardown, clean, and hopefully we won't replace too many parts. So there's our initial look at this engine. I'm going to continue the disassembly here. See if I get lucky with this guy here. Well, that's how one of those should come off. Nice and perfect. Push that cam follower up and out of the way so I can get this timing gear out. There we go. Timing gear's out. Cam follower is out, kind of. That one's out and shot across the room. And that one's out. Okay. Next step, try and get this guy off. Okay, so I inadvertently just blew through the removal of this front drive, but it was very uneventful. It gave me no resistance at all. So, one last thing that we do definitely need to look at is in here. And then I can go get the crankshaft out and get these bearings out. The way these screws feel, it doesn't feel like anyone's ever been inside this engine before, which is a good thing. It means hopefully I won't find any real bad surprises. And here we go. Looks beautiful. So this Surpass does not have the hole here, which means So once I get this sleeve to come up, we should be able to just push this out, get that crankshaft out. But this is probably going to be a little bit tougher, so I'm going to have to heat this and oil this cylinder, this sleeve up, to get that out. So this is pretty hot here, and just using a popsicle stick, I've heated it, and now I can pull the sleeve out, and hopefully this piston connecting rod will come right off now. Okay, so I just pulled these parts out of the cleaner. Everything's nice and clean now. Here's the inside of that head. I've already pulled the crankshaft, put new bearings in, and installed them here. You can see how nice and smooth that is. That black mark that was here on the case came off. So everything's nice and clean. Piston looks perfect. So now it's just reassemble it. And here's the finished product. This engine looks damn near brand new now. Look at this. And it has really good compression. Really good compression. So I already had bearings on hand, so I would say that for a $50 investment, I got a pretty damn nice OS FS-91 Surpass engine. Next thing I need to do is take it out and give it a run.